Okay. First of all, just want to thank my Lord and Savior. His favor was upon us today, and just had a lot of adversity around here, and to see a group of guys come together like that, that doesn't just happen, and really truly believe in what we're trying to do. It's a big win for our conference. We're 3-0, and that's the objective. That's what we're trying to do. I'm proud of our team today because I saw a team that made a decision to believe. I talk to them all about that all the time. I tell them, hey, you got greatness in you, but the coaches can't bring it out. You got to make a decision to be great. And it's just good to see these guys respond and see the progress that we've made, with our team at this point. But there's a lot to talk about. We knew Auburn was going to be a very difficult out. They got a lot of pride. You don't win 17 games in a row, by accident. But to get down 14 points to the national champion, and it's not exactly how we wanted to start, but I think that we've proven one thing in 3 games is that we're going to keep playing, and we're going to go to the next play, and that's what our team has continued to do. We've been a little, but we have not broken, and I just can't be more proud of them. I think it's the longest streak ever in Clemson history as far as breaking a streak, and 640 yards of total offense. I felt like coming into the game. In fact, I told the media people before the game. He asked me what I thought the difference in our team was. We're very similar teams. What I thought the difference was, and I said, well, I think the difference has a chance to be our offensive line and our defensive line. And I think that was the difference, especially as the game wore on. I thought that our protection was outstanding. We were able to run the football. We had the ball, I think, the last 9 minutes and 30 seconds we had the ball. And then I think we had it another 5-something on the drive where we fumbled. So that's dominant football in the second half. It's the 3rd week in a row we have not given up a touchdown in the second half. I don't know, but I would say it's probably been a long time since Auburn has not scored a touchdown in the second half. So I'm just really proud of our guys. Huge interception by Cody. Taj Boyd, what can you say? The guy has just taken ownership. Chad has done an incredible job, not just with our offense, but with Taj in particular. And, he's 386 yards, second most in the history of the school, 30 for 42, 4 touchdowns. We had a hard time running it early, and they were challenging us with some things, and so we felt like we had some matchups that we could win in the passing game. And once we got that going, we got it rolling. I think we scored every time we had the ball, like 5 out of 6 times or something, except the one time that we fumbled. Just really proud of our guys up front. And it's the first time we've beaten Auburn in 60 years. I think they had a 14-game win streak. So, a lot of good things from this game. Sammy Watkins continues to just set records. He's an incredible ball player and just a very humble young man, and just going to get better. But football and team is about stepping up. It's about guys stepping up. And that's really what life's about, too. That's what I told the team. Listen, you don't ever know when you're going to get an opportunity. You may never get an opportunity, but you got to prepare. And today was the epitome of that. We had guys just step up time after time. Cloy's out. David Smith's out. Cloy's out. Brandon Thomas goes in. Hadn't played a whole lot. And he stepped up. He really solidified us in there, did a great job. Dwayne Allen just continues to show incredible leadership. He had a heck of a game. He had a career high today. I thought Mike Bellamy sparked us. Obviously, he had the fumble. We're disappointed with that, but he really ran hard and just keeps getting better and better. And then, I don't think DJ Howard probably woke up this morning thinking that he was going to be the leading rusher in this ball game. But he was ready. He was ready. And that's what life's about. It's about being ready when you get an opportunity. And I'm proud of DJ. He ran with some purpose. You know, as I said, you know, to the team, sometimes good Lord's got a sense of humor. You know, he was committed to Auburn as a running back, and then I think they wanted to move him to DB. So kind of just fitting for him to be the leading rusher in this game today. I'm awful proud of DJ. Sharon Peak. Jerron Brown gets banged up, gets hurt. I mean, we had guys getting banged. It was a very physical game. Sharon Peak, that might be the greatest first catch I've ever seen for a first catch. A first catch. I mean, that was incredible. And then he came back and had another huge catch and run after the catch. Really proud of Sharon, seeing him take advantage of his opportunities today. And again, just the possession of the ball. I cannot stress that enough. To be able to possess the ball like we did in the second half is against a team that's won 17 games in a row. That's special. I think we had 9 consecutive third down conversions at one time. So just really proud of our team and, again, defense and how they responded in the second half. But it all goes back to how we prepared. I thought we prepared very well. We had our best week of practice. And, you know, this will go a long way for these guys as far as their confidence goes. And I'm proud of them because we're 3-0, and that's our goal to be at this point as we go through the schedule of champions, as I've been calling it. You've had the Sun Belt champions, the Southern Conference champions, the SEC national champions, and now we got to put this in mind. We're going to enjoy this tonight, and we're going to enjoy it tomorrow. But Monday morning at 6:30, this one's over. We get into conference play next week, and I'm pulling for Florida State tonight. Want to see our conference do well, and I think that'd be a great matchup. 2 division undefeated teams in here next week in the Valley. So, you know, hopefully they can get it done tonight. But we just got to stay focused on our process. That's really what it's about. It's just one game at a time. And you know, I told the players to enjoy it. And one of the things I told the players, too, is, you know, we've handled some adversity around here. You know, we had a lot of adversity last year. And it's just as important how you handle some success. It's just as important, maybe more important. And so, you know, just about staying focused on the right things, you know, making sure you stay humble, making sure you give others credit. And I think our team will continue to do that. But conference play this week, and we got to try to continue to win at home. If we can do that, then we have an opportunity to put ourselves in pretty good shape. But, again, I congratulate Auburn and Coach Chiswick and his staff for a great run. I've been a part of a 28-game winning streak, and I understand the pressure that comes with that and how hard it is to do. So they were a very good champion, but I'm glad it ended in Death Valley today. And the credit goes to all them guys that played in that game. With that, I'll take your questions.
This is an indication of how responsible the players with each other with this win today.
I'm sorry.
This is an indication how responsible the players are to each other for this win today.
Yeah, they're accountable to each other. And, in fact, you know, they all carry a little card in their pocket that helps them to remember that accountability. That's one of the things that I said to the media back in the spring, that, you know, I was starting to see leadership and accountability grow on this team, and ownership. And, you know, they worked their butts off all summer, and they've earned this. They earned it. Nobody's giving them anything. I'm sure there wasn't many people out there that probably thought we'd be 3-0 right now. But you know, they really don't matter. It's about the guys playing between the lines. And they care for each other. We got a lot of love on this football team, and our staff is second to none. The job that this staff has done is incredible. We got a great chemistry. You know, Chad and Kevin have done a great job of working together and blending things. And you know, I just try to keep us going in the right direction. But we've got a lot of accountability to each other.
Coach, can you break down when the offense began to take over in the second quarter as far as the main reasons? Was it the offensive line giving Taj time? Was it the receivers making great catches? And that's what led to Taj's confidence and just the offense started clicking?
All the above. You know, they protected very well. Taj, you know, he missed a couple now. We missed a couple big ones, but he went to the next play. And that's where Taj has really grown. That's where he's really, really grown, because in the past he missed a wide open play for a touchdown or something like that, and it'd carry over to the next play. And he just kept playing. But receivers have done it. We've got a special group. We got a special group of skilled people on this team. We've tried to do a great job of spreading it around to a lot of different guys. That makes us really hard to defend. So that starts with the protection. Taj has got to make the right decision and the right throw, and then the receivers have got to do a great job, getting open, finishing catches. And there were some great plays today. That touchdown Nuke Hopkins had was a heck of a catch. Now, a lot of big throws on third down, and everybody had a hand in it. So it wasn't just one guy; it was just everybody working together to get it done. But we started to hurt them in the passing game going into the half, and we felt like that. Hey, they can't cover us. And if we can exploit that, then at some point we're going to be able to run the football. And that's how it turned out for us. So, again, just can't say enough about our players. And Sammy Watkins, this guy's – he's from another planet.
Just to follow up on that, Gene said after the game you guys were a pretty good football team, but he went back to say that we got to reevaluate our defense, we got to go back and reevaluate our coach to find out what we're doing. Do you think Chad just had that defense just so confused they weren't sure what was going on? Or?
Well, again, we had a great plan coming in, and that's for them to figure out. I ain't quite worried about Auburn, we've actually, today we put it together. We've played well the last two games offensively. We've done some really good things. We've just left a lot out there, and today. We put it together, and to see guys step up and play with that great energy and that great belief and confidence, and that really got us going and got our defense going. Again, the coaches had a great plan. I thought Chad did an outstanding job of calling it, and I'll let them figure out what their issues are.
One of those wins that sort of propels this program in the direction you want it to go, or is what this game will become, is that sort of predicated on what happens in games like next week and the week after?
Yeah, you can only, we'll look back at the end of the season and we'll see, once the whole picture's painted. But, again, we're 3-0, we're happy. It's a big win for Clemson. I cannot thank our fans enough. They were awesome. The Valley was rocking, and that's the home field advantage that we ought to have in Clemson, South Carolina. So our fans were incredible, but, time will tell. But no doubt it's a huge win. Anytime you win like that, it creates confidence in what you're doing. It creates, especially when you come back. You come back from down 14 and you start to, develop that mindset of, hey, we can do this. It's a sign that our players are listening to the right things. They're believing the right things. So we'll see. This time next week, we got an incredible opponent coming in here in Florida State, another team that beat us last year in a doggone tough game at their place. So, we'll do everything we can to try to get ready to win that game next week. But we'll look back at the end of the season. They're not going to cancel the rest of the season. So we've got a lot of ball to play, and we got a lot of improving to do. Let's don't anoint this team just yet. We got a bunch of work to do to get better as a football team. Our goals are bigger than 3-0. Our goals are right there. And so we're a long way away from achieving them at this point, but we're on the path.
Talk about belief. Was it tested being down 21-7 early the way that those guys are running on you?
Absolutely. You're dealing with young people, and that tests your program. It tests your off season. It tests how you talk to them. It tests how you practice. It tests everything. Just foundation of your program. When you want to see how guys respond, do they quit? Do they lay down? Or do they pick themselves back up? Do they respond? And our team responded. So again, I'm awful proud of our coaches and Coach Batson. Somebody asked me at the half. One of the reporter guy asked me at the half, said something about the snap count or something. We had a bunch of plays, and how are we going to keep? I said, Lord, I don't care about the snap count. We just going to play. And that's the mentality of our team. They just play. They just play. We don't, you know, and that's a compliment to their conditioning. And then seeing guys get hurt, next guy up, and their mental toughness as well.
Coach,
It came out today.
I'm sorry. Talk about your defense. Obviously, they gave up over 400 yards, but you
Yeah.
mentioned they didn't give up a touchdown in the second half.
Well, disappointing first half. Really, really disappointing. We lost contain several times. You know, they cracked us on the one and then pulled a guy out there and blocked us, and we were really poor job on the long touchdown run. And then we come back, and you know the quarterback's drinking a cup of coffee back there. They run a dig and go, and we got double coverage, and so you know, first of all, that's a long time. That's a long time to hold the ball to have to run a dig and go. But they max protect up, and we didn't get pressure on him, but we still got double coverage. And so that we just didn't play with our eyes. We didn't play through the receiver, didn't play with our technique. And so those were huge. I mean, the two big plays, and then the other play that I thought was critical was 3rd and 10, and they sprint out, and we got an unblocked guy, and we lose contain. It should be sack. And our ball off the field. Instead, we lose contain, they hit a big play, and then they go on and score. That's 3 scores right there. So, you know, it's hard to win when you give up those type of big plays. But as I told the team, and this will tell the tale on our season, if we can win the turnover margin and we can have at least 2 more big plays than the opponent, we're going to win a lot of games. And I think we were even on the turnover margin today, but we had more big plays. And that was the difference in the game.
Is Andre Ellington okay?
Yeah, he tweaked his ham. You know, we'll see tomorrow. We got a lot of guys. I mean, this was a physical game. Darryl Smith, I think, pulled his ham. Cloy got hurt. He could have gone back in. He was just kind of going to be ready for emergency. We had several other guys that finished the game that were nicked up. Jerron got his knee bruised. He should be okay. But a bunch of guys. David Smith, saw him this morning. Hopefully we'll get him back next week. But, you know, I'll have to give you a little better report tomorrow evening.
You talk about Brandon Thomas stepping
Yeah.
in. I don't think he probably didn't expect to play that much.
No. You know, he had a good week of practice. In fact, I called him. I met with him this past week, and told him, I was like, you know, Brandon, you have a gift, and you're not using it. You know, but he's been practicing better. He's been showing a little more sense of urgency, and it was great to see him step up like he did today. I mean, because he is really, really talented, really talented. Again, it's a matter of him making a decision to be a great player. And I can't tell you how huge he was for us today. I cannot wait to watch the film tomorrow. So I'm proud of him. I mean, he really came through for us in a big way today.
Aside from accountability, is there any other special thing that makes this team to get where it is right at this point in the season?
Recruiting. Recruiting.
Is this win bigger than the South Carolina win that cemented your job? And would it be official to say the Davos win here is officially underway after a big win like this?
Well, y'all can figure that out. All I can tell you is I probably wouldn't have this job if we hadn't beat South Carolina. So that was a pretty big win. And probably the other big win was clinching the division title for the first time in school history, my first year beating Virginia on my 40th birthday. That was a pretty special day. And but this is, for an old boy from Pelham, Alabama, to be a part of something like this one. This is an Alabama grad to boot. This one was pretty sweet.
Coach, you talked about Sammy a little bit already, but can you just tell me a kind of two-part question? What did you see out of him in the first couple games that let you know that he was ready for this role in this game? And then were you kind of saving him maybe a little bit to kind of break him out against a team like Auburn?
You weren't at the first 2 games, were you? No, we saw this in practice. I mean, you know, I tried to keep it from the media as long as I could, but eventually, I mean, he was a starter here in like 2 or 3 days. I mean, the guy's just unbelievable. I mean, he doesn't say a word. I've never had a freshman like him ever. I've had some really good players, but none of them like him. And listen, we got guys like Peak and Martavis Bryant. Those guys are great players. But Sammy has just got a a focus. You know, he's all business all the time. He has an unbelievable ability to take it from the meeting room to the practice field. You tell him something once, he's got it. Obviously, he's fast and has a great skill set, but his toughness and his hands are incredible. But no, we didn't save him. He scored, I think, second play of the game, his first game. So he's been pretty electric all 3 games, and today he came up big. But you know, that little screen pass he took to the house, that was it was well blocked, but I mean, he just ran off and left everybody. So that goes back to recruiting. In fact, that's what I told Chad when we were. I said, that's just recruiting right there. That's what recruiting will do for you. You get those kind of guys, and you put them in good position to make plays, good things can happen.
Safe to say your work's not done tonight with Florida State playing that big one against Oklahoma?
Oh, no. We're going to I got a lot of family in town and friends, and, you know, I really appreciate them being here and spending some time with them. That's one bonus of having an early game. I'm going to enjoy watching this Florida State game tonight. I really look forward to it, and, heck, I'm pulling for them to win. We'll line it up next week and see if we can do it again.
How much does speed change this program?
Excuse me?
How much does speed change this program?
Well, if you watched us last year, we just didn't have the big playability. We were a different team. We had to grind, and either score or try to kick a field goal. And we're not kicking as many field goals. We're scoring a lot of touchdowns, and the reason we're scoring a lot of touchdowns is speed. We can run by people, we can run away from people, we can make people miss, and we got a bunch of those guys. So that's what happens when you recruit well.
What was the play today that really stood out from Taj? You know, great day with a lot of plays, but was there one play?
I thought the touchdown, the third down touchdown throw to Dwayne Allen, I thought that was he had to be very patient on that play. And let it develop and put it in the back of the end zone there. That was a huge play there in the first half. And I thought that got us going. But, you know, he had a bunch of them. And you can ask me that tomorrow night after I really see the film. But he had a ton of big throws. He had a couple of throws where we had one-on-one coverage, and he threw what we call a paintball. He stopped the receiver with the ball. The DB's got his back to him, and you know, he's got what we call a man turn, and he throws it at the back of his helmet, and the receiver reacts. He had a couple of those throws to Nuke that were money, and one to even Dwayne Allen that was huge third down conversion. So there's just so much good in this game, and again, it's great to see these guys step up like that.
Speaking of Dwayne, can you talk about the play there in the back of the end zone, the catch he makes, and then his performance today from not just from catching the ball but also blocking was also.
Well, Dwayne Allen, he's not a secret anymore. You know, he's. I would think a lot of people probably watched this game today, and there's going to be a lot of people asking about Dwayne Allen. He's a special player, a special talent. But I told Dwayne after the game, I went over to his locker and told him, I can't be more proud of a guy because nobody on this team has worked harder than Dwayne Allen to be great. Nobody. Nobody is more committed than Dwayne Allen. I mean, everything we've told him to do, he's done to the nth degree. We don't have a guy more all in than Dwayne Allen. And to see him be able to reap the rewards, that's such a great lesson for him to keep that kind of work ethic. It's talent. There's so many people with talent out there, but you got to have a skill. Your skill set has to be developed through work ethic, and Dwayne has developed that skill set through work. And he came in here as a young guy with talent that didn't know a whole lot, thought he could just kind of survive on talent. But he made a decision he was going to be great, and he has worked his tail off in every area of the game, from knowledge to his body to his flexibility, ball skills, you name it, understanding the game. And I'm just really proud of him, really proud of him. He's playing with a lot of confidence, and he has been one of the best leaders we've had here in a long time.
How big of a matchup problem is he for opposing defenses?
Almost 260 pounds, and he looks like the Hulk, and can really run. I mean, he's a problem. He's a problem. not many linebackers can match up with Dwayne Allen. So, and then if you bring in a DB, well, you got a physical mismatch. So he's an issue for people. But last year we had him, but we didn't have other people around him to help him like we do this year. Our quarterback is a factor. People have to defend him. He made, I thought, some more effective runs today and a couple of key scrambles. And people have to pay attention to him. And then, all the other guys. I mean, Ellington and Nuke and Jerron and Sharon and Sammy and Bellamy and DJ. I mean, there's a lot of guys. And, so I promise you, Dwayne Allen, nobody's more happy to see the influx of playmakers than Dwayne Allen because it's made his life a lot easier.
Coach, you went 14 out of 18 on third downs, red zone 5 for 6. You made some comments earlier in the year about 24 freshmen, redshirt freshmen. After this game, do you have time to look back and think that you're where you want to be? You see the growth of all those players mixed together, and you feel confident going forward a little bit better than you may have?
Well, we're happy to be 3-0, and but we're still a work in progress. I mean, we're still a team that's got to get better. I mean, we're giving up big plays. We, early in the game, we missed some opportunities on offense that we're one guy here, one guy there, and we want it all. We're chasing greatness, and if we're going to reach it, we got to clean a lot of things up. But we got what we got, and those young men are going to continue to get better. But it's good to see some of them step up, and they will grow immensely from this experience. There's just no greater teacher than experience, and so they're going to get better, and they're going to continue to get challenged, and it ain't going to get no easier. So that's for sure, and but it's good to see some guys have opportunity and then take advantage of that opportunity.
How does Taj go from the guy in rough first half in the opener to second highest yardage total 2 weeks later?
Taj is a winner. I think the guy's only lost like 2 games ever as a starter. So he's worked really hard. He's worked really hard. He's taken ownership in this system, and he's got a lot of weapons, around him. So, and he's got an offensive line that believes in him, and an offensive line that's talented. So I just cannot say enough about the job that Taj Boyd has done. I mean, he's made us go. He's made us go, and you got to give a lot of that credit to Chad, because Chad has done a great job in teaching Taj and making it, to where he knows exactly what he's doing and why he's doing it, and then you got to give credit to Taj because he's put the work in. I mean, he has really studied and really prepared well.
Chances put a lot of pressure on these guys in practice, and the games will be easier. I mean, our practice is a lot more difficult this year under Morris and offensively. How would you explain that? No,
I mean, we practice in the same way as far as the structure of how we practice. The tempo is different, that's for sure. We changed all that in the spring. But Chad he brings a great energy every day, and he coaches every play, and I love that. I love that about him, and our practices have been very physical. I mean, we try to always do that. But this is just a game of players making plays. And right now we just got players making plays. It's that simple. We put them in position to make plays, and then they got to go make them. And right now they're doing a good job of that.
Bellamy fumbled, and you put the ball right back in his hands next time. I mean, is that just any thoughts to do something otherwise?
Got to grow up. Ain't nothing we can do about it. We got what we got. He's a great player. He's going probably won't be his last fumble over his career, but he's a home run guy, and I wanted to show confidence in him. I wanted to show it. That's what I told him when he came up. I said, "Hey, we're gonna go right back to you now, and they're gonna hit you again." Yeah, and then he was. I loved how he responded. He was like, "Coach, hey, I'm gonna get it back, and they won't get it again." And that's what you want to see. You want to see guys respond. We gotta grow him up. And again, today's experience for him is really going to be helpful. Same thing for DJ. And that's one of the things I told the staff Sunday after last week's game. That was my challenge to him. I said, we have got to get DJ Howard and Bellamy going. Got to get them going. So it was good to see them because I felt like they could help us. So it was good to see them step up like they did today. But it was a big mistake. But that's why you got a team. That's what your defense is for. And they picked him up.
Anything else?
Okay, thank y'all.